Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.
Hi, and welcome to Tech Talk, y'all, episode 393, produced by Edgewise.Media. I'm Adam Walker.
And I'm Sanjay. All right,
we're going to play a game, listeners. The game is, guess which one of us is not feeling 100%. Go.
We'll see if you can figure it out by the end of the episode.
We both come with such high energy that I think we're good at bringing the energy no matter what, right? And that's part of the joy of having a podcast. So
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's going to be a fun chat. We got to talk. Let's just dive in. We got to talk about GPT-5. Yeah. So GPT-5 is being released to all ChatGPT users. Here's what's interesting. They did the big reveal yesterday. All about GPT-5, and he's like, it's available. So I have access to it on the app on my phone, but as of this morning, I did not have access to it on my computer inside of the web browser, which I thought was very strange. The other thing,
did you reload?
I did. I reloaded. I logged out, logged back in, everything, and nothing. The other thing that's interesting is I saw somebody do a demo that sort of better explained the difference between GPT-4 and GPT-5. So he went into GPT-4 and he just wrote in there, create a minesweeper game. Like that was the prompt. Create a minesweeper game. Okay. And it coded out a minesweeper game, and it was a functional, like very, very, very rudimentary version of Minesweeper that GPT-4 created. Then he did it in GPT-5. And GPT-5 created a much cleaner, much more code. It was like 300 lines of code, so much longer. It had an easy, medium, and hard version built into it. Like it was a much more robust version of the game, just with the same prompt, which is kind of fascinating. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. So you've played with it a little bit on the phone, or
a little bit, but not much. Not enough to give any kind of full report back. I mean, what's crazy to me is hearing what's his name talk about Sam Altman talk about it. He said, GPT-4 is like having a very smart college intern that is incredibly capable and could do all kinds of stuff for you. And he says GPT-5 is like having a PhD that can do all this stuff for you instead. And I'm like, if that's the jump, if it's literally that much of a jump, that's freaking crazy.
Yeah. But realize that's also marketing. I mean, he's selling it.
Maybe.
So who knows if it's really that level of a jump.
Yeah.
I will say we didn't tag an article for this, but Anthropic released a new Claude as well, Opus 4.1.
Yeah, I heard that. Yep. And Grok released one too, which I don't care about.
Yeah, we don't even need to mention that.
Yeah, no.
But 4.1 is supposed to be incrementally better. I haven't really used it yet, so I don't know how much better it actually is.
Right.
But it's what's interesting, and this is important to mention Anthropic here. It's one of the big focuses that OpenAI pushed on was the coding ability of GPT-5 because historically and currently, everybody views Anthropic's Claude, as basically the best coding partner for your coding stuff. So Claude Code and things like that. And so they are really trying to go after it. There was also another story, and I didn't really dig into it, but OpenAI apparently is going to sell access to this, their latest tools, I guess, to the government for like $1. I don't know what's going on there, but that doesn't seem like.
I thought it was to government employees or something, to give them access for $1. I thought that's what it was. And then they did something else this week too, which we didn't even mention, which is they released, I think, an open source model, GPT, that you can download and run, right?
Which in fact I have downloaded. And tried to run. It's just slow when you don't have enough computing power on the back end. So it's interesting. I think I'm going to play around with it a little bit more. I downloaded the one that was huge, the 120 billion tokens or whatever. There's smaller versions as well that I think are more reasonable for the desktop. So I'm going to give it a try. There's I guess this is a free tech rec for our listeners. Olama has just released a desktop application for Windows, Linux, and Mac, where you can download these models and then run them locally. And so you're not paying anybody for the processing or anything else like that. Everything is done locally. You can even, within their app, shut off access to the internet. so you're sure that all of your data stays local.
That's cool.
So it's pretty neat. And then you can actually open it up and let other applications access the model through that as well. So it's a really, I think, well-designed little app that I think for a lot of people that maybe don't want to pay for this, that are okay with a little bit slower access to generation. Like if you're going to dump a bunch of documents in there and just let it churn in the background, this could be perfect for that. So
just not on my little laptop, because that I would never support it like that. And my 5-year-old little laptop would it'd fry the whole thing.
Dump your documents in there and come back in like 4 months, and it'll tell you what's.
And
there'll
be like a smoking crater of a hole where my computer used to be. Right, that's what's gonna. Yeah, it's like. Why is there a hole in your desk? I think the thing it just melted right through. That's what happened.
And why is the power bill $1,800 this month?
Oh, that's easy. It's because my kids, they just leave every appliance on and plugged in at all times. Yeah. Every light and appliance and everything, like everything possible running. That's what's running. So if you want to know what's running in my house, it's all of it. That's what's running.
All of it. All the lights are on and nobody's in the room.
That's correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I understand that. And now you can know if those lights are actually real or not, or created in some kind of fake video. Hiding secret codes in light protects against fake videos. I thought this was super fascinating.
Crazy.
So basically, they have embedded in regular lights a code that you can't see with your eyes, but can be detected on video.
Right.
And so as you add more light sources with different codes in them, it becomes harder and harder for AI to replicate and fake a video, but more importantly, for somebody to take a video and then cut out parts of that video to doctor the things that are being said. Because the time code basically of the light shows you that something has been manipulated during certain timestamps. Super fascinating. And yes, let's do this.
That's crazy. I love that. Yeah. I mean, because we're getting into you can't believe anything you see ever. I mean, in fact, there's an article coming up about Elon Musk, which that has a photo at the top of the article that's Elon Musk running from the police holding something, which is clearly AI generated, but it's so good. It's just it makes me happy to see. But it's increasingly difficult to tell what's real, and this is a great way to fight that.
Technology is amazing. Like we've in the past talked about some light-based data transfer, so that you could do a local area network that transmits data through light in a room. This is just another one of those things that it's like, oh, that's kind of cool and a really neat idea, and something I probably would have never thought of on my own.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Amazon to pay New York Times at least $20 million a year in AI deal. I assume this is for them to train AI on New York Times repository of data. Which seems like a good way for the New York Times to stay in business. So
I think new data as well. Well, what's interesting here is the annual payment. The article says the annual payments amount to nearly 1% of the Times total 2024 revenue. So it's not that huge. Okay. But then again, it's also free money, right?
Yeah, it's literally just on the top. Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? I mean, it's basically goes straight to the bottom line because they're already making the stuff.
Yeah.
They're just making more money from the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Good for New York Times. Way to go.
Yeah. This is interesting. I think, this might be a model for more and more newsrooms to go after. Yeah. And I think obviously it's going to be more valuable for larger newsrooms, but then I wouldn't be surprised if now there might be some newspaper aggregators that they then take all the content from a bunch of small newspapers or publishing houses and then sell them as a package and then dole that money out, because those small ones are not going to be able to get those deals themselves. Yeah. But if you aggregate across enough of them, they would. Obviously, New York Times doesn't need that because they're so huge and they create so much content. But I think that maybe we've found some way to save local journalism.
Maybe. Let's hope so.
Way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But while we're doing that, you can get some, fake body parts made up and get them removed from your body. Yeah. Google's healthcare AI made up a body part. What happens when doctors don't notice? Yeah. They send you to surgery to get things removed that don't exist.
That's what happens. That's not what happened here, but that's what could happen. Yeah. Sure. This was, just to be clear, this was a test that they ran, right? So it didn't really happen in real life. And what happened is the AI conflated two different parts of the brain, and there were two, like, it was the basal ganglia and something else, and it combined one word from one and one word from the other to make a new part that's not real. Yeah, and but the point being that, and I think the point the article is trying to make is that AI wants to give you an answer, even if it's the wrong answer. And when you look at healthcare, that could become incredibly problematic.
Yeah. By the way, I'll do a callback to the first article too. One of the things that Sam Altman did say about GPT-5 is that there is a lot less hallucinations, which is essentially what this is.
Yeah.
A lot less hallucinations in GPT-5 than ever before. So, maybe we're getting there.
So speaking of hallucinations, I'm going to tell you about something I did today that was fascinating. So I have a client, and they had a bunch of data that I needed to go through to look at their marketing performance and make some recommendations on like what increase spend here, decrease spend here. So I ran a lot of it through an AI, and it gave me a really good report. And it's like, well, these campaigns are performing well, these things aren't performing well, blah 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 blah. So then I created a report from it, and then I took that PDF of that report and ran it back into the same AI and was like, hey, review this report and double check these numbers for me to make sure they're correct.
Yeah.
And it went back to its own work, and it was 98% correct, but it had missed one part where it claimed there was like 5 or 10 conversions when there were actually 0. And then it made up a percentage for it was 4%, 5% when it was actually 0%. And so it's just an interesting, all the numbers are there. It's literally just taking them and putting them from one place to another. And it still managed to hallucinate a basic number and change a 0 to something else. But it was able to catch itself when I went back and made it double check its work, which is fascinating. So
that's an interesting idea there, is to make it check its own work once it's done, right? Like I've not really thought about doing that. So.
Well, I think you have to introduce it as it's not like, hey, go back and check your numbers, because if it does that, it's going to tend to say, oh, it's all correct. But you have to introduce it as a new document and oh, here's a report. Double check this against the numbers that you already have. And it's like, oh, well, this is right. It was fascinating because it was like check. Oh, this isn't quite right. You might want to fix this. And then these two parts are confusing. You might want to remove one of these. And it was like, oh, perfect. And I did all of those things and it made it much better. So there you go. Yeah. Kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's my turn. Let's see. High costs and thin margins threatening AI coding startups. So these are the vibe coding startups. And apparently it just costs a ton of money to run these things. And they're losing money hand over fist. And so if they don't sell quickly, they don't make it, essentially. Is that's kind of the gist of this?
Pretty much. Some of them have negative gross margins. So they're actually losing money on every customer that comes on. But apparently they'll make it up in volume. I don't know how that works, but
that's the Amazon method that nobody understands.
Yeah. It's the Saturday Night Live, dollars for quarters bank method. They don't charge anything for that, but they make it up in volume.
Yeah.
So a lot of your favorite AI coding startups that you've been using vibe coding, one of them is yours too, Adam, Lovable.
Yeah.
They might be in trouble. It's not clear if they are or not, but a lot of them seem to not be doing well. And it's mainly the ones that don't have their own models that they're running against. Yeah. They're using somebody else's AI model, so they're having to shell out money for that.
Yeah. But I think they all run against somebody else. I mean, don't like even Cursor runs through Claude, doesn't it?
I think a lot of them do. I think there's a few maybe that have built their own, or are running their own, some open source models or things like that. Enjoy it while it lasts. Because you might not be vibe coding for that much longer.
What'll happen is it'll go away like that. Like these, they'll all go out of business, and then at some point somebody's going to get it figured out, and then it'll all come back. So I mean, there'll be a lull, and then it'll skyrocket and be amazing. Yeah. So I'm fine with that.
Somehow it'll get figured out. It'll be made cheaper somehow, and then it'll be like, oh, okay, we can actually make money doing this. So
yeah.
There you go. Somebody else that's made it cheaper and is making money somehow. China's Unitree R1 is a humanoid robot costing less than $6,000. Adam, when are you getting one?
Listen, dude, I don't think I ever would have said this before now.
Uh-huh.
I think there's probably a time in my life before I'm gone that there's a humanoid robot living in wherever I'm living, whatever that looks like. Like, it seems pretty likely.
And then killing you in your sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was a given, actually. Obviously, yeah. It's
so it's going to be living there for one day, and then you're going to be gone because it's going to kill you.
Listen, like there are certain things in life, Sanjay, that are givens. Is Adam wearing a hat? Yes. Do bears poop in the woods? Yes. Are the autonomous robots going to kill Adam? Yes. Like, that's just we all know that. It's fine.
Yes, and yes.
Yeah. So no, I mean, but I think we might be 20 years away from it being pretty common for households to have a humanoid robot in the house for whatever. I mean, and you and I right now, right? Like, we're looking at this and going, why would I ever need that? I think in the exact same way that people looked at computers in the early 80s and thought, why would I ever need that? Right? Like, so I think it's inevitable, and I think it might come much sooner than I expected.
Yeah, it's somebody, I forgot who, but that famous quote from back then said, like the worldwide market for computers home is like 50 or 100 computers or something like that. It was some ridiculously small number. Yeah. And I think you're right. Like right now, I cannot imagine, but you know what? Like, if I had a robot that could do like house maintenance stuff, dude, I've got some drywall things that need to get taken care of. Yeah. And
I got to pressure wash my deck. Like, it'd be great for that. Like, why not?
Go do that.
Go pressure wash my deck.
Like, I don't need to pay something. Like, I bought you and now you are my indentured robot slave. Like, I can do all the things that I don't want to do.
I can see myself right now. It's like you're talking to an AI. It's like you're looking at the robot and you're like, you are an expert painter. You are going, it's like you're hypnotizing him. You are going to pressure wash my deck with excellence. You
gotta get the little chain thing and just like go back and forth.
It never occurred to me, but it does when you're prompting like that, like you are a marketing, it does kind of feel like you're hypnotizing it a little bit.
Exactly.
That's kind of what you're doing. Like, all right, put on this hat. So
subject and hypnotist. That's exactly what's going on here. So.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, speaking of somebody that would love to hypnotize some folks, jury orders Tesla to pay more than $240 million in autopilot crash case. And we might as well mention the next one too, which is Tesla withheld data, lied, and misdirected police and plaintiffs to avoid blame in auto crash case. So this is a case involving a Tesla on autopilot crashing into, I think, a couple that were out stargazing, and the suit that was filed in response to that. I don't remember the severity of the injuries from that crash. Do you recall? I
think they were killed.
Were they killed? Okay, yeah.
Or maybe they were just injured. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. But Tesla tried to kind of hold back because the recordings got auto uploaded to the server
immediately.
And they didn't,
And they didn't admit it. They didn't say it. They basically were like, there's like a feature that auto deletes the thing from the vehicle. And basically a forensic analysis had to happen. And they were like, it looks like it was uploaded. And then eventually after like the years, they're like, oh yeah, we've had these files since 10 minutes after the crash. They didn't. I mean, the only thing I can say is good that they didn't destroy that, because their MO would have been to destroy that as well. Yeah. And then they would have been guilty of destruction of evidence at that point. But the jury, the jury didn't find them completely at fault, but they found them 1/3 at fault, which I think is right, because they were warned by the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration, I think it is, that, look, you don't have enough guardrails on autopilot. Right. You are allowing it to run in places that it should not run. Like, they should have geofenced all of these things. Yeah. And the driver themselves, and I think you're right, I don't think they were killed. I think they were injured. The driver themselves admitted, like, look, shouldn't have been using that, but I didn't know. And the instant that this happened, like, they dropped their phone and they were reaching for it, so their eyes weren't on the road. And so that's, was a confluence of stuff that happened here. Yeah. And Tesla even said, like, look, they'd gone through that same intersection 50 times and nothing happened those other times. But it's like, that's not exactly the point. It wasn't supposed to be running in those places. Yeah. And if you had actively not allowed it to run, then the driver would have been paying attention, knowing that the car is not running itself.
That's right. Yeah.
So
that's right.
Yeah, all kinds of bad stuff here. Like, I don't know, like the soul of this company to me feels like rotten.
Yeah.
Like this, I feel bad. I feel bad if any of you that are listeners are Tesla owners, but really you should consider trading that in sooner rather than later.
The majority of friends that I have that have Teslas had Teslas. So they don't anymore. So yeah, there seems to be a concerted effort to let those things go. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, something else that's being let go by hackers apparently, and this is not a great thing. Hackers leak 13,000 user photos and IDs from the T app designed as a women's safe space. I'll go ahead and do the next one because it's related.
Yeah.
A second T breach reveals users' DMs about abortions and cheating. Okay, I knew nothing about this app.
Never heard of this app before today. Yeah. It's crazy.
So it's like, it comes from, it's TEA, like spilling the T.
Yeah.
And it's women only talking about partners, men mostly.
Yep.
And they apparently got the ire of 4chan, which decided to hack it. And these folks have not built this app very well. They said that you would upload your ID and things like that so they could verify you're a woman and blah, 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 and get access to the app. But then all of that stuff would be deleted. It was not deleted. It was stored. No. And I think I saw somewhere that maybe it was stored on an S3, Amazon Web Services S3 bucket that was not protected. So everything was just
open, just out in the open, just chilling out. Just as photos tend to do. Yeah, that's bad news.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
You talk about these kinds of things on the internet, just know that you're trusting somebody to have done the right things. And a lot of times they've not.
Well, and not only that, but like it's supposed to be an app that's anonymous where women are anonymous. And I think maybe it still was, but even so, your stuff might get on the internet. Like it can get tied back to you. Like just,
right.
I don't know that anything's ever really anonymous in this particular day and age. You know,
I think you have the option of being anonymous maybe, but women went on there and like found out that, oh, this guy that I'm dating is also dating other people that they didn't know about and things like that. Like they would share information about stuff and then realize this stuff. So the other side of it too is, people like don't be idiots.
Yeah.
Don't try to take advantage of other people. We wouldn't need things like this.
I see these stories from time to time about like a wife or like a fiance that like discovered that her fiance is like on a dating app, or something like that. And my question is always like, how do they have that kind of time? I don't understand where a person would find that kind of time. Like seriously, come on, right? Like really? Like that's crazy to me.
I agree, right? Like, I mean, wow, that is a lot of juggling.
One relationship is an all-encompassing time commitment. Like that's it. That's all you got. Like, I don't know. How would you have time for anything else? That doesn't make any sense.
And some of these people that have 2, 3, 4, I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like,
that's just crazy.
How can you like split the time?
It don't make any sense. So
maybe you split the day of the weeks or something. Like,
all right,
Monday is this person.
And for our last article, Forward and Wacky, that Sanjay is going to really be on fire about. Future home smart hub owners must pay new $117 subscription or lose access, and that's access to the devices that they've already purchased. Sanjay, go. How do you feel about this?
Not good. Not great at all. And actually, this is along the same lines of an article that we talked about a couple of weeks ago with Belkin Wemo, disabling all of their devices because they were like, yeah, we don't want to keep supporting that anymore. So sorry.
Haters.
At least in this case, it's like, okay, you're just held for ransom.
Yeah.
In Belkin's case,
I guess that's like, better than Belkin, honestly. It is, but not much better, but marginally better.
Not at all better, I think, almost. But I mean, if it's so critical that you have so many devices, then I guess you're going to cough up the money. But look, when you were starting out, you should have thought about this of like, okay, how do we make sure we have a sustainable business model?
Yeah.
Maybe let's not sell devices where the cloud stuff is free forever when that stuff is going to cost us money.
Yeah.
Right?
It's crazy. So.
I mean, I'll give you an example of this. So a product that you and I both love, Terminal, we've talked about it so many times.
Yeah, man.
It's got a cloud-based system. I have talked to the founder a couple of times about this, and we've gone through the numbers and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see how you're going to make it work. like doesn't need to charge for the cloud-based stuff because the margin is so high on this thing that it's going to cover the expenses on the back end. The back end expenses are pretty cheap. And also, if you ever decide like, hey, they're going under or something like that, you can run the back end yourself.
Yeah, that's great.
Like,
yeah,
I don't understand like these people, these Future Home folks or the Belkin folks, like what they should do is push a new version of the firmware optionally and say like, you can run your own.
Yeah, that's right.
And here's the software to do that. They would get much better press than somebody like this that's trying to rip people off.
And we wouldn't be as mad at them as we are right now. So
time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable snowman.
He's not an axe murderer.
One of the TAs turned out to be a bot.
First up in Weird and Wacky, it's not actually an article, but I thought this was kind of awesome and cool.
I'm looking at it right now.
Vote for the stamp you want to bring back. The U.S. Post Office has launched a website, and I don't remember when voting is through. Oh, it's through September 30th, 2025. And you can vote on an old stamp that you want to have them bring back. And there are some awesome ones in there.
This is a tough one, man.
There's Batman.
Yeah.
DC Comics, Heroes.
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers is in there. There's
Cars is in here.
Cars is in the Peanuts.
But more importantly, I mean, Disney villains. I mean, come on. Like, that's a pretty good stamp right there. Disney villain stamp? What? I love that.
Yeah, exactly. There's
Star Wars droids.
There's all kinds of stuff in here. Like some of them to me, I'm like, why did this even make the cut? Cause that just, like Flag Act of 1880. Who's voting for that when you've got Batman right next to it?
Or like, the George Washington photo from the dollar bill. Like, I think we see that dude's face enough. We don't need more of him. Like, we're okay. I mean, I'm all right without old George. So
I'm okay with George, but we don't need him on a stamp.
We don't need him on a stamp. No, he's fine. And then what's this? The Message Monsters one? That's just weird. I don't think we need that either.
And the Transcontinental Railroad too. Like, okay, yeah, it was important and stuff, but it's okay.
But it doesn't, I mean, listen, if you have to choose, if you have to choose Transcontinental Railroad versus Mr. Rogers, man, I mean, come on, like, that's not even a choice. Like, that's not, why would they even be in the same category? Like, that's not,
Another funny one is this Heritage Breeds one. Like, they've got Mulefoot Hog, Barbados Black Belly Sheep.
Yeah, we don't need that.
Cayuga duck. Like,
I don't want to be opening up a letter because I get so many letters and see some hog's head on my stamp. I don't need that. But I would love to see the Star Trek thing, some Star Trek. That'd be great. So I'm just saying. I gotta say though, I don't need Peanuts. I'm not a Peanuts fan. They whine too much. They're too whiny. I can't deal with them. So
I mean, you got Peppermint Patty in there. You got Pigpen.
No, man, too much.
Good Pigpen on a letter. Like,
can't do it.
That'd be nice. As long as it opens up in a dust.
Lucy's all mean. No, I don't need Peanuts. I'm all good.
I mean, that's true.
I'm going to get some hate for that, but that's fine. I'm cool with it. All right. Moving on. Welcome to the grocery store where prices change 100 times a day. And these are in, I think, Norway. And they've got like the e-ink displays that sort of update throughout the day for like price kits. Here's my question, Sanjay. I really want to know how they manage this. What happens if you grab something that's on the shelf and it's got the price of like $4.99,
right? And
you get to the register and it's gone up to $5.99? Like, are you just what exactly? Are you out of line? Like, what's happening here?
There was a comment in here about that saying that basically consumers will rebel. And they will be irritated by this. And so stores need to be very careful with how they do this.
I thought of a solution. So if you're any stores listening to this podcast, not that there ever would be any, I think there's an interesting solution though. So I think what you could do is you could say, listen, price cuts will happen automatically. As soon as the signs update, price cuts happen instantly. Yep. But price rises, like price hikes, would go up on the sign and then be implemented at the cash register an hour later. So it'd give you like a buffer to get out with your price. Like I think that's the only way you could possibly do it where customers aren't freaking out. So for what it's worth.
I gotta say, this happened to me once at a gas station. I was filling up, and as I'm filling up, the price they lowered, and I didn't get the lower price, and I was a little irritated. I mean, it was only a couple of cents a gallon, but I was like, come on, man.
What's funny to me, Sanjay, juxtaposing the two of us, That's the kind of situation where you would see it and be annoyed. And I am blissfully ignorant of all of that. Like I would never have noticed. I'm like, oh, I'm good to go. Here we go. Woo, we're on the road. Hey. So,
well, because the gas is filling up on its own, and I'm just standing there, and I see them changing the sign out there.
Oh, they're physically changing the sign. Okay, well that makes a little more sense. Yeah.
Come on. And yeah, so I still remember which place it is. It's a quick trip over by that place mall. That place irritates me.
I got another example for you that's off topic about blissful ignorance. We're already going long, so we're going to keep going. So the other day, my wife sent me to the store and she's like, hey, you need some deodorant and I need some deodorant. So pick me some up. So I get home.
And she's telling you something like,
no, we're just out. So I get home and I hand it to her and she looks at me, she goes, does it smell good? And I'm like, I don't know. And she goes, you didn't smell it in the store? I'm like, no, I didn't even think about it. She's like, well, did you smell the one that you bought for yourself? No, it never even crossed my mind to smell the deodorant. Like, never even thought about it. I grabbed, like, that reads like a good scent. I'm going to grab that one and walked out the door. Like, never even crossed my mind. So I live in a state of oblivion. That's what happens. To me.
See, I'm very particular about mine because I go with the unscented because I don't need those extra smells.
I think the unscented is the way to go. And I have in the past thought to smell the deodorant. It just didn't occur to me in this particular moment, but that's a good.
Because my problem is that I'm smelling myself I'm like, the deodorant smell is everywhere. And like, we don't be needing that.
All right, moving on. Sanjay, what do you got for us next?
Next up, Earth is tilted 31 and a half degrees. That shouldn't happen. And
inches,
you're right,
31 and a half inches.
Oh, 31 and a half inches. Yeah,
31 and a half degrees feels like it would be way more than.
Yeah, we would probably be dead.
We'd have some serious problems.
Yeah, we would be dead at that point. Yeah, 31 and a half inches is still a lot, considering, but apparently this is all because we've been pumping water out of the groundwater out and shifting the center of gravity of the Earth.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
That's not good.
That feels like it could become a bigger problem.
I feel like those kinds of things can, like, I don't know, throw planets off orbits and kill everybody in the world.
Yeah, but I mean, killer robots, planets off orbit. I mean, what's more likely to kill us sooner? The robots, obviously. So, it's fine.
Clearly, yeah. So, and then some archaeologists will come to this planet from some other planet in the future and be like, "Oh, they let the killer robots I don't know, shift the Earth or something, and that caused the death of everybody."
Speaking of shifting Earth, this is crazy. CCTV footage captures the first ever video of an earthquake fault in motion, shining a rare light on seismic dynamics. Did you watch the video?
Yeah, not once, multiple times.
Holy
it was crazy.
Freaking crap. Did you see how much the Earth shifted along that fault line?
So much.
It was significant.
So much. Yeah.
Listeners, you've got to go watch this video. It is just fast forward like the minute mark or something where the guy, skip the guy talking. But oh my gosh, it is wild.
Now, I've been in many, many earthquakes in my life. I have never seen
you're from Kentucky and lived in Georgia. How have you been in many, many earthquakes? Where have you been hanging out?
So my first earthquake ever was actually in Kentucky.
Okay.
It was quite long. It was probably a 20, 25 second earthquake.
Okay.
But the place that I've had lots of earthquakes was when I was living in Japan for 3 months in Tokyo.
Oh.
I probably went through, I don't know, a couple of dozen earthquakes during that time.
Does Tokyo have that much seismic? I had no idea.
Yeah, they're on the Ring of Fire. So, so there is quite a bit. It's kind of a normal thing. Like the first time you go through a earthquake in Tokyo, it freaks you out. By the time you get up to like 8th and 10th, like, it's okay, whatever. Like one time it happened to me and I was in my hotel on the, I don't know, 15th, 18th floor, something like that.
Yeah.
And you know what they say, like you're in an earthquake, you're in a big building, you need to get out. It started shaking and I was like, well, if I go down, by the time I get downstairs, it's going to be done. So I don't think it's worth even getting up. I was eating dinner and I was like, it'll be fine. And what's different, what's also different in Tokyo is the buildings are built with kind of these things that
the rollers
dissipate the energy.
Yeah.
And so unlike in a regular earthquake, when you're, here, let's say, and the ground shakes up and down.
Yeah.
When you're in a building like this, the ground moves like parallel.
Yeah.
It's like the most disconcerting thing if you don't really understand it.
Yeah.
So that's what was happening. And I was like,
fine. Yeah.
It should be okay. Let's trust the Tokyo engineers. I'm sure they built this fine. And it was fine.
My only earthquake experience that I can think of was back in college. There was like a very small earthquake in Georgia, like a tremor. And it was like,
which, by the way, we had one probably a couple of months ago here.
Yeah, we did. I just didn't feel it at the time, but I remember it was in the middle of the night. I was in bed, and there was a lamp. There was a floor lamp that sat on the floor, and the lamp was shaking. I woke up to the lamp shaking, and I thought to myself, that lamp sitting on the floor, the only thing that can make that lamp shake is an earthquake. And then I went back to bed. So that's how that went down. Yeah. So it's similar to yours, I'll be fine. So
we even had one in Acapulco once on our honeymoon.
Oh, okay.
Had an earthquake, woke us up in the middle of the night. So
that's crazy. Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
Crazy stuff. Last thing that's crazy stuff, the Coffee-O-Matic PC. Apparently this is a thing. People build PCs using coffee machines and use the heat off of the PC to heat up the coffee. So the question is, Adam, you drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
When you get in one of these to heat up your coffee using PC.
I don't drink that much coffee. I drink 3 small cups a day, like typically pretty small. I feel like to have that level of coffee, you've got to be going like full pot a day for sure. And I'm not anywhere near that. So I think that's cool. I love the photos. Good for some people, but not for me.
I think people that are running like Bitcoin rigs that also drink coffee should build these things.
That's exactly correct.
Smart.
Yeah.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
It is tech wreck time. Adam, what do you have for us this week?
All right. For all you professionals that occasionally find yourselves needing to build a PowerPoint deck or some other document that looks not terrible, and you want a way to do it that's easy, and you don't have to like do this like the whole Canva template rigmarole or something that's ugly. Gamma.app is your best friend, because here's what you do. You can give Gamma.app an outline. Slide 1, here's the title, here are the bullet points, and I'd like this type of image. Slide 2, title, bullet points, I'd like this type of image. Slide 3, whatever, you get the idea. And it builds the entire thing for you real time, and it is freaking fantastic. And then you can go in and make minor edits to the slides as you need to. So I've been doing this for Project 900. So I've been doing, been trying to teach 900 nonprofits how to use AI at project900.com. And in all of my decks for all of my lessons I just drop a bulleted list of all the slides I want into Gamma.app. It creates them all. I do almost no editing of the slides at all. It's that good the first time. And then I can use it. I can present with it. I've used it to create PDF one-pagers of things as well. I've used it to create like larger multi-page documents as well. Like it is, it's kind of like Canva. If you could just text prompt Canva to do exactly what you want, and it just does it. It's and their free tier allows you to create a bunch of stuff for free. I was able to create probably my first 4 or 5 slide decks for free on their free plan before I had to pay for it. So I could not recommend it more highly. It's one of the best AI tools I've used in the last 6 months. It's amazing. So yeah.
It's super interesting. It looks really nicely done. I'm wondering what they're using on the back end as their AI.
They use a variety of different things for the images. I don't know what they use for the text, but there's a lot of different image generate, because you can choose like AI image generation, or you can choose stock image selection. So it'll do either one. And then if you don't like one of the images, you can regenerate another one, and it'll give you a bunch of options, and then you can choose one from that, which is pretty great.
That's super interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, Sanjay,
try it out.
What do you have for us this week?
So I've got a tool that is used by a lot of developers, I think, and I'm just now starting to use it. It's called Linear.app. And so basically it's a bug tracking tool that I've started using for TogetherLetters, of course, and then also some other things that we're working on. But the thing that really interested me was I just saw today an article about Linear, which I'm also tagging in the show notes. Linear sent me down a local first rabbit hole. And it made me realize why it is so good. So what they have built underneath in the engine of this is a sync engine so that when you're doing things in the app in the browser, things are so snappy, they're immediate. They save to a local database inside of your browser and then afterwards sync up over the internet to the main database that they hold.
Yeah.
And so the performance, I was really impressed by when I was using it. I didn't realize why it was so fast, but that's the reason why. It acts like it's a local application, basically.
Yeah.
And there's no delay. And when you change screens and things like that, like everything is super, super snappy because they've synchronized everything to your local browser. Now, we've seen some of these things in the past before too, like Chrome had some things like that where you could run like web apps and things were local and things like that. But I think this is a whole different level. And so this person, if you wanted to go check out the article, talks about how it works and then how to actually replicate this yourself. So if you're a developer, to think about the steps of being able to do this to make your applications like this. But if you're a developer and you're looking for a tool to help you track issues and things like that, try out Linear. It's really well done. It's pretty impressive.
All right.
So,
fantastic.
there you go.
All right, Sanjay, how can our listeners find and connect with you?
They can find me at sanjayparikh.com. What about you, Adam?
You can find me at adamjwalker.com. And if you haven't ever, rate the podcast for us. 5 stars. 5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars.
Dun, dun, dun.